Welcome to Envista Experts on Demand, your unbiased, informative source for supply chain best practices and industry updates. Today, we are speaking to Shay Reed, Vice President of Supply Chain Operations, on the topic of facility design best practices. Why is facility design an important consideration?
So in today's evolving multi-channel, omni-channel world, it's ever more important that our clients are able to service their customers and service their market in a variety of different ways. And being able to do that is critically important that you have the right distribution network as well as the right distribution center designs in place to ensure a reactive response to changing customer needs. Additionally, our customers rely upon us for both an art and a science that's applied to designing the distribution centers.
Can you help me understand the art and science of facility design?
When designing a distribution center, it's important to consider both the art and science that needs to be applied to design a distribution center that meets both the customer needs as well as enables the growth of the business. The art part really comes in understanding our client's business, understanding the unique market they service, the unique aspects of their business, the unique requirements of their customers, as well as how their business is changing, how it's growing, and how it's being affected by competitive forces. There's no real science that you can apply to that. It's about asking the right questions of our clients. The science comes in and understanding the common threads that run through all distribution channels and leveraging a building block approach to design facilities according to those common threads, as well as the understanding of our client's business.
Explain some of the common threads that are a part of the science of facility design.
The common thread of data is the item master, the customer master, the order files, as well as inventory files that exist amongst all distribution centers. Second is the functional processes, are receiving, put away, replenishment, picking, and shipping. The last common thread is that all businesses today are looking to eliminate waste and eliminate variation from their processes to better service their client as well as enable their profitability. To master the science of distribution center design, you have to have tools in place that leverage the common threads of data, the functional processes, as well as take a lean approach so that the process used to design the DCs is repeatable and scalable and efficient and produces accurate answers for the client.
Walk me through the process of using facility design tools in conjunction with Lean Six Sigma principles for a facility design project.
It's important to use a building block approach so that each step of the process builds upon another. For example, you would start with a project charter. It's important that a project charter be created based on the Six Sigma principles so that there is a foundational understanding of the current situation as well as all the objectives as well as all of the people who will be involved in the design process. We've already talked about data some. Data is critically important. There needs to be a standard request of data tables that come as a straight extract from your IT systems. It's important to validate that you have the right data and that there's no extraneous data that's going to corrupt the details of the design. Once you are sure you have the right data, then a design criteria can be developed so that you understand the cyclical patterns of the business as from an annual standpoint, as well as a monthly and a weekly, and identify the peaks and averages during the peak shipping season of the business. The data that's extracted needs to be analyzed in such a way that you get an understanding of the cyclical patterns of the business. You need to understand how the volume flows from an annual standpoint, from a monthly standpoint, from a weekly standpoint, and sometimes even through the day. These patterns will give you indication to what the design criteria needs to be so that you meet the peak design periods as well as you accurately plan staffing during your peak as well as the slower times of the seasons. It's also important that you understand the actual processes required to fulfill the current business needs. Detailed definition, process flow maps, value stream maps, applying lean principles to understand what's value added versus non-value added in the current situation will lead to a better understanding of how new processes can be developed through a process called concept evaluation. Once the data is merged with the processes, concept evaluation gives indication of how much space the new concepts might require, as well as the labor that it takes to move product into a concept as well as out of a concept, and then also the capital investment, ultimately determining an ROI versus current process. Finally, after you've went through each functional area and determined the right concepts to apply through receiving, put away, replenishment, picking, and shipping, then you can begin to create a block layout because you know how much of each concept is needed, as well as establish the general flow of product throughout the distribution center. Once that's agreed upon, then you can start the final layout of the facility. As a final step in the process, you'll want to understand the overall financial cost, as well as the schedule involved, as well as an understanding of what it's going to take to actually build the facility. Typically, you can expect this process to take anywhere from 12 to 18 weeks, depending largely upon the availability and the cleanliness of the data that's used for the design process.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Envista Experts on Demand.